Hello, beautiful wild woman. Welcome back to the Wild Woman podcast. I am your host, Hanna, and I am delighted to meet you here in this beautiful audio space where we are always traveling in the pursuit of depth, truth, and inner wisdom. If it's your first time here, welcome. I'm so happy you found your way here, and it feels good for me to be back as well because I've taken a little break from podcasting. This is my way of being really real, raw, authentic, and really speak and record an episode when I feel like I have something to say that I want to be a podcast episode. So that's why it's a little bit sometimes erratic, the pattern of posting. I'm not just producing it, manufacturing it. I actually want to speak about things that truly matter to me. And today's topic really, truly matters to me. So let's dig in. A little bit of backstory. First of all, I have been speaking about this a long time ago on my Instagram a little bit more, but honestly, what I am going to talk about is something that I don't think we ever should stop talking about, and with the purpose of spreading the awareness. I'm not interested in bringing anyone down. I'm not interested in shooting the healing self-development industry in the leg. I am interested in people being safe, people being aware, and people being very much educated and knowing what to look for in certain things. And it sounds all very cryptic right now, but here's the deal. So what I want to talk about today is the bit of a shadow side of spiritual communities and the self-development industry. So, and you know, it might sound a little bit weird for you that it's an industry, but same as like when you go to the doctor and there's this person looking at you over their computer and across the table, you know, they have hopefully your best interest at heart, but you also have to keep in mind that they are part of an industry. They're part of a system. They're part of like business as well. And same is with self-development industry as well. It is an industry, although it consists of mainly people who are truly on a soul mission. And I feel I'm truly one of those people who's on a soul mission and truly fulfilling my life's purpose here, working with people and helping people with, you know, their emotions, energy, mindset, spirituality, all of that. But also, this is also my business as well. So it is the reality of it. I'm walking the earth here like anyone else, and I'm building a business out of this as well, because guess what? I can't fulfill my life's purpose if I am homeless, if I am like completely broke, that I can't buy the mic that I'm speaking into. I can't buy a computer that is my very essential tool for my business. I need to have a livelihood behind me, and I've taken that route that I actually am doing this job as, you know, as an entrepreneur as well, instead of working somewhere on a day job and doing this work kind of half-assed on the side. So, but it is a business for me as well. But here's the deal. Some people from the outside perceive spiritual communities or these people like an absolute God walking the earth. Sometimes people put coaches, healers, you know, different type of people, mentors like this on a massive high pedestal and feel like they have all the answers. It's not entirely true, first of all. And second of all, it is a little bit dangerous to put this industry on a pedestal because there is a bit of a shit show happening on the background of it as well. Like I said, I truly believe that I'm doing it as authentically as possible, as honestly as possible, as transparently as possible, but not every single person is the same in this industry. And lately, I have been very active on Instagram, on social media. I've been following new accounts. I have been looking what other people in spiritual community are doing. Not just people who are like, you know, just a person created account, but a person who is in that industry as a healer, as a service provider, as a practitioner. And it's not always pleasant what's happening behind the scenes. For example, I have received some very weird messages from people who have a gorgeous Instagram account, and they sharing all their quotes, and they're sharing all these sacred geometry pictures and these very spiritually attuned posts, and it all looks great from the surface. But as soon as you follow them, they might follow you back, and then they send you a message saying something like, "Oh, I can feel you have a blockage around your solar plexus. You possess such gifts and a connection to these and these energies. If you unblock this and this chakra, you will have this immense luck, abundance coming your way. If you are doing these and these things, your power will truly find you." Messages like this. And sometimes I'm just stunned reading at them. And I'm pretty sure someone even actually messaged me at some point saying almost like I have some sort of being with me, or some sort of shadow energy or dark energy or something like this. And this is a major red flag waving. And this morning, it was interesting as well. It was actually a couple of days already, this one account, I followed them, then they followed me back, and she messaged me "Oh my God, I'm so happy to connect with other, people in the community. Thank you so much for the follow. I'm so excited." And she actually kind of initiated a lovely conversation, because one of the things that's freaked me out is most people go without zero small talk, no conversation. They go straight into telling you what's wrong with you. But this account that I'm talking about now, that what I saw this morning, she actually took her time for a couple of days. But this morning she messaged me and asking can I share something with you? I can see you have a gorgeous big community of women. Can I share something with you? And I'm like what? And she wrote to me this great big long message how, this is something that I feel very passionate about. I just want to share this with you that helps you to create connection with people. It's such an easy way. Basically, she was selling me her water filter. And I was reading this message, and I actually wrote her back "Are you serious? You say you're very, excited to make a new connection and not a big introduction, and you come and sell your water filter to me, so I would go and sell it to my community for you." And I actually said straight out to this woman, whoever taught you business strategy on how to go about selling this product is not your friend. And she came back with this oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I'm coming across so salesy. That was definitely not my intention, but I'm just so open about it because I truly believe in this. To me, it's not the same thing if I'm salesy or I just offering things openly. But I completely understand it comes across like this from your end. So how it is, it's almost turned around that I'm the one who is too closed-minded to have an abundance mindset to perceive this as a completely fine thing to do. But I can't see in what universe would I take someone that I don't know anything about, who I met on Instagram. They haven't said anything about them. They just asked a couple of questions about me. And then I would take their product and go offer it to their, to my women in my community. On what planet would that actually be successful way of doing business, first of all? And second of all, why this kind of awakened this in me again, that, oh my gosh, I need to talk about it, is because it's not always people offering you an innocent thing like water filter to sell. Because what is happening in DMs as well is deep manipulation. When someone is sending a message to a woman that I sense this being or this presence around you, or I can sense there's a blockage around you, or there's someone around you that wants your attention, or you have these gifts that you haven't been connecting to. People who feel a little bit more fragile and don't have like maybe emotionally everything as solid in that moment when they receive message like that, they can completely lose their mind. And yes, of course, everyone needs to take accountability for their own, reactions, their own emotions, but it doesn't mean that the person manipulating the woman in a fragile state is completely, pure and free from any accountability. These people know what they're doing, and that's the shadow side of this business. Some people are in it just for the business. And I can see it from so many angles. Like, I'm admitting now also a very, very big Facebook group that is also from the only with the spiritual angle. And there are people, for example, who post every day like jewelry that anyone can order from online, and they're posting like, oh, look what I made today. This is what I've been working on today. It comes from my soul, comes from my heart. Please be kind. Tell me what you think. And it's like, hello, you didn't make all of this intricate jewelry today and the next bunch of like 20, 30 pieces tomorrow. And this is the selling part. But where things really irk me is when people are playing each other's emotions, when they are truly like telling that you have something that you don't have any power over yourself. You need my services to get over that, or to heal that, or to unblock it, or to release that negative energy, or to communicate with the soul that has been around you. Or I can see you have this darkness standing behind you. This is manipulative and can actually cause a lot of damage to people. And like I said, if people are not feeling so solid within themselves and don't have maybe like such a strong power stance about their own life, power, energy, at the time, this can send them to a very like a slippery road downhill, getting endless spiritual readings and trusting these people, because that's the deal, guys. A lot of people think that spiritual people are these, like I said earlier, maybe like these godlike people who are walking the water on the earth all the time. It's not like that. Spiritual people are just like people. Yes, maybe they've dwelled a little bit deeper into certain topics. It is real as well that some people have this very strong connection to spirit, their guides, this spiritual world that normal people would perceive as spiritual world. There are beings there. There are different contacts to be made. You can read auras. You can read person's energy. All of that is very real. But truly embodied people who have boundaries, also a head screwed on their shoulder, they're not sending unsolicited advice, messages, manipulative requests, and things to sell you without you making that contact first, or somehow, reaching out to them. That's at least my ethics, and what I've seen also people who are very ethical in that space and take their job in the spiritual industry very seriously, and they feel into everything and feel like, does it cross their boundaries or not? But unfortunately, not everyone uses their inner compass, that is their heart, before they make decisions, before they get in touch with people, before they send the DMs, before they diagnose someone with whatever crap they have to say. And that's another thing, that even if these people are correct in some way, even if they truly believe they are correct or they actually are correct, I don't think that makes any difference, because as a spiritual person, or any person, because we're all spiritual, we're all living in spirit of who we are, guided by our soul, fully divine, fully human at any given moment. But even if that person, that mentor, healer, coach, whatever practitioner is correct, as much as can be subjectively determined that they are correct, even they are correct, I don't think it's still ethical to go and slam someone with some sort of truth of life that they never asked for, that they lack context for. They have no way to process this. They have no way to understand this. So they are instantly like either hooked or scared, or kind of like they feel like their well-being depends on something else that is outside of them. It's my like ethics when I'm working with people is sometimes you need to understand that me knowing what I know is not necessarily beneficial for everyone to, for example, know or to tap into, because you can't answer the questions for people that they already have. You can't answer the questions they don't know how to ask yet. And it's not something good or bad. It's not something that is like a hierarchy of who's better and who's worse. That's a very old way of looking things. We are all valuable human beings. We all hold the same worth, but we are delving into different topics and different like areas in our life. We're all active in different industries. We all have a different contribution to the community, to humanity. But spirituality is definitely not something that can make me better or worse than anyone else, or can make you better or worse than anyone else. We're all shoulder to shoulder. And that's why it's very dangerous also to place anyone on a pedestal in this world, because then you feel like they will always know better than you, which is simply not the case. Yes, at first maybe it takes a little bit of time to build awareness or start like, untangling some things in your inner world, and then you start creating the connection with that divinity and from your own heart and from your own guidance. It takes time, and definitely coaches, guides, people who have been on this path before or who are there with you, they are invaluable in helping you to get through this as well. I have coaches, I have mentors that have been completely, sometimes I feel irreplaceable for me, but fully knowing that nobody is irreplaceable really. But I really value my mentors who help me to understand my connection and find confidence and safety in it all. And I'm the mentor for so many other women as well. But I'm not better than them, because they have their own topics, what they are good at. I have so many women from so many different walks of life. Some people are in like web design, they are artists, they are teachers, they are childcare educators, they are business owners, they are nurses, they are doctors, they are police officers, personal trainers, other coaches, party planners. There are so many people from different walks of life. They are great at what they're doing. And spirituality should ever be something that is a measuring stick that puts people against each other somehow. It's kind of like the same way if I take my car to the mechanic, and the mechanic thinks they're better than me because they know my car better. Like, first of all, I know my car pretty well, but it doesn't mean that I can fix everything. It's the same thing when a client comes to me. They know themselves better than anyone else, but still they can have some blind spots out of their awareness, out of their model of the world, that my guidance can really truly help them to see certain things, unlock certain things. But I wouldn't want a mechanic run after my car and sell me their product if I don't want it, or tell me like that I have a shitty car, that's why you need a new one, or you need new tires, new this, new that, unless something is really falling apart. But that's what's happening a lot in the spiritual community, is these manipulative messages land in mailboxes quite often. And I just can't help but think what is happening with these people who are more fragile, who don't have their principles maybe worked out for them. And I just want to, I guess, spread awareness about it and help people to get their power back in a way that before you go in and in a spur of a moment because someone says there's some sort of darkness around you, take a breath. Take a breath, consult with someone, tell about this to someone, look into this account, look into this person, see if they have more credible resources around them. Feel into your body. Does what they're saying actually ring as true? And that's with anything and anyone that anyone is telling you. Use your body as the compass, and if it's not available for you, at least take your time before you respond, and take your time like to digest things, and just speak to someone about these things. And I'm not saying that you have to become so like paranoid and not trust anyone, but if someone comes with a pretty bold statement about you without actually knowing you, without you asking their opinion, without no conversation, this is just not okay. It's the same thing when, I went to the doctor a few years ago, and I walked out less than 15 minutes later with a massive diagnosis written on a paper that I have severe PTSD and severe depression, and I had a prescription for medication in my other hand. And even if on some level I was maybe a little bit depressed, or that at least maybe the symptoms I was presenting could have even maybe in some ways summed up to depression, still I think it was very irresponsible of the doctor to do that without not having conversation with me about it, not putting it all into context, and not helping me to understand what was going on, and without no actual history or bigger picture understanding, giving me medication for it. And a lot of people are like saying, oh, I know, Hanna, you're against medication, and I know, Hanna, you're against diagnoses. I'm not. I am against when people are doing it unethically. And for me, this is unethical when someone prescribes life-changing medication or gives a life-changing diagnosis without a conversation, without a bigger lead-up, without asking any questions from these people. This is not medicine, in my opinion. And same with the coaching world as well. I receive actually very often these questions from people. They're asking like, is Reiki good for me? Is this good for me? What I should be doing for anxiety? Can energy healer by this name help me with my depression? And I take very seriously people asking these questions, and I come up usually with a quite well-rounded answer. That can be for the person maybe sometimes a bit vague, but I'm not saying them yes or no, or that no, you shouldn't go see anyone else besides me, or you should only come to see me. I do offer my services sometimes, but not always, to people who ask me questions. And this boundaries, the ethics, that has been so important for me, because guess what? It also protects me. It also protects me because I don't want to sacrifice my own energy for like my own good reputation, my own value and as a coach, my own wisdom, my own connection to the things that I'm working with, just for the sake of selling a couple of sessions here and there. I'm here for the long haul, that I want to keep like building this organically, naturally, without wrecking it before it actually can truly grow. And here's another part that maybe is one of the most important parts that we need to understand when it comes to that spiritual shit show in Instagram DMs. There's this little bit of history there as well, why I feel so passionate about like taking a beat before you take a full diagnosis or a comment and receive it fully and let it into your world from someone who claims they're very spiritual. So I met a guy in a friend's birthday party months ago. And after this, like that was actually years ago now. And after that guy, followed me on Facebook, followed me on Instagram, and without any, again, like no small talk, no introduction, no conversation, that person actually met my husband on this birthday party. But they come forward with the message like this: I can feel your yoni calling. I can truly feel it. I can sense your body is desiring true satisfaction, and maybe that can only achieved with someone who is as connected and embodied as I am. And that continued and continued in a way that I was thinking, oh, that's a bit bold, like, okay. But I'm that type of person that I never kind of slam anyone for, being, I don't know, I guess forward, honest, straight with me. But when I realized, like, I was just like, no, thank you, this is definitely not for me. But I didn't block the guy. But he started to come back. Yeah, I can truly still feel like this, your womb is calling for me. And it was all worded in a way of like it's, no, you wouldn't feel it, but I feel it because I have a connection with your body, because most likely you don't have a connection with yours. And again, to some woman who has maybe been craving for a male attention, craving for even like to feel desired by a man, because there's nothing wrong about it. We all want to be wanted. We all want to be loved. We all want to be seen and heard. Even if we sometimes feel a bit shy and want to hide away from the world and from people and from men, but there's always this part of us that still wants to be seen, wants to be kind of noticed, and wants to be loved, held, and complimented. And I was thinking like, oh my God, is this guy an actual criminal? And then I fully put a stop to it, and I said like, look, you got to stop this. I'm not interested. Blocked him on Instagram. And then I kind of didn't even notice, but on Facebook we remained contacts for a while. And all the things he was posting were in regards to, you are not a spiritual person if you still eat meat. You are not a spiritual person, or you can't be fully human if you still drink cow's milk. You cannot claim you have any connection with any divinity, or you are healed if you are eating like chickens or lamb or whatever. So slamming fully people for what they are doing in their life, and not just sharing opinion, but fully slamming people for, if you do this, you are worth nothing. If you eat meat, that means you can't claim this about you, that you are a well-rounded human being, because only murderers and rapists eat meat and drink milk. And it was very ugly very quickly when you see it. This guy had no filter, and all he had was principles and no compassion, no understanding of other humans, no actual, conversation around it, and no way of like to create space around it. And the craziest part is that guy had created himself a very, very big online community who is actually his followers. And imagine I don't want to imagine it, but I really hope there is this part particularly in women's head, that they see through this and they don't fall victim to someone who is just loud, angry, and, to be honest, horny and hasn't actually embodied themselves and worked through their own stuff. Because what these people are also offering is yoni healing, yoni massage, womb healing, womb magic rituals, feminine energy embodiment, ecstatic releases. It's all sometimes kind of hidden behind this spiritual veil. But why I'm not saying actually anyone's names here or anything, because I don't want to really flush someone down the toilet. Because I do hope some people are benefited from these things as well. But seeing the back end of it all, the behind the scenes and the messages, and being sometimes on the receiving end of these messages, you gotta understand just and see, like, open your eyes, that not everyone in this industry is like, pure in their intentions. Even if they want to believe they are, doesn't mean they actually are. A lot of things that people are guided by are their unconscious beliefs, their unconscious wounding, their unconscious problems. And as just another woman, I really wanted to spread the word in that and just put it out there that you actually, whoever is listening to this episode, gets to make a sober decision, gets to create a little bit more space around them and take a step back before you step into some sort of ritual somewhere with someone who is, I don't know, so far away in the forest, in the bush somewhere where there's no phone reception, and where you're in a fragile state and there's this man waiting for you somewhere. Like, that comes from a heart for me. And like I said, I don't want to like kill anyone's vibes towards the spiritual community, but people who sometimes claim and want to really show how spiritual they are creating actually a lot of anxiety, a lot of separation, a lot of like checklists how spirituality should look like. And a lot of women instantly want to conform to this. It brings out this effect from them that like, oh, but I am doing exactly these things. I'm going to now do this and this as well. Girls, spirituality is something that doesn't fit into any box. Spirituality is something that you already are. Doesn't matter in what state or circumstance in your life, or what type of diet you have, what type of body you have, what type of like, whatever is your life looking like, you are a spiritual person. It doesn't mean you have to walk around with the feather wand and sing mantras all the time and cover yourself in patchouli oil and wear only a certain color and pray every morning and every night and eat only like flowers from the garden. That's not spirituality. This is, anyone can do these things, but doesn't mean they're spiritual. And some people who are very spiritual, they might not do any of these things, but they're still extremely spiritual. And some people who are spiritual do these rituals as well, but they're actually embodied in them and they're not forcing them to anyone else. Because truly spiritual people understand that everyone has their own journey. They trust the other person's like soul guiding them as well. They don't send manipulative messages like, oh, this is just me being open with you and honest, and I truly value communication, so that's why I'm telling this to you, because I want someone to tell me if they would see something in me. That's not real. Me, even like sometimes as a psychic, like, there was a long time when I had to learn how to close this channel, so I'm not looking someone in the eyes when they say hi and I'm seeing so many things that I don't want to see, because it's not my business. That person is maybe here for a blip, or they're here for a little conversation, or if they feel like they want to reach out, they will reach out. And that's why social media is good, because I can put all this information out, I can put all these podcasts out, and people can tune in and listen and make their own decision if they want to work with me, if I'm the right person for them. If they come in for a session, then they can still decide for the next time, is that the right person for me? And so can I. So can I, because it is as much a business as much it's a soul mission. It's a soul mission as much as it's a business, but one can't be more important than the other. As soon as the business takes over, you start making decisions that are not right. And yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you today, because some of these things that people have written to me, it only makes me like wonder, like, well, I have a pretty like a solid Instagram account. Like you cannot miss the fact that I'm another practitioner in the industry, and I'm not hiding away from the world. And most people perceive me as someone who has confidence. And if I receive messages like this, which I do believe I have a pretty solid energy, and imagine if someone who maybe is younger, or they haven't thought about these things, or they have been a little bit like distracted, or they've been hurt by their partners or something. This I've heard as well many times, that someone who's been like left by their loving boyfriend or something, all of a sudden the love is gone, the boyfriend's gone, the girl is left broken hearted, and then they start going to like different circles and dance, spiritual community dance events, and different evenings like that, and they feel like all of these men, they are so divine, and they are like so like I wish my boyfriend would have been like this, and like they feel all of a sudden like this love is around them. But sometimes pure love is not behind that love bombing. When someone is truly deprived of love, love bombing can feel like it is like real love, because it, you know, makes you feel good. It gives you like a bit of a spark, gives you like this sense of attraction to these people. But honestly, before you make any decision, talk to someone, take a step back, look a little bit further into it, because these people in spiritual community as well, they can become very manipulative as well. They are the ones who tell you like, you should do the work. I've done the work. You should really look at yourself like I have done the work in that. You haven't seen your these and these patterns. Like I would be ready for marriage and kids and all of that, but you are not ready yet. You are still, so I can feel the heaviness in you. And that could be anything. The woman might speak her mind, and straight away it's pushed back that, well, you're the limited one. You don't see how open I am. Or let's say if woman's been cheated on, and it's very easy to come back with the fact that like, but I am such an open being. I express my sexuality openly. It's like, well, it's a very easy excuse to say, but you didn't communicate this with me before. What you actually did is you broke my trust. You're just a cheating person, really. And again, no behavior can make someone worth less than they are, or like more worth than they were before. But it's just about the communication, the actual openness, not using the spiritual principle as a manipulative technique or something that excuses a very shitty behavior in relationships, that excuses manipulation, that excuses hurting someone. It's very, very important topic to me, because I hear these stories very often, particularly people who have been doing self-development in a way that they listen to sometimes like books or podcasts, or they listen to some angry men spit out some quotes or examples on Instagram reels, and they kind of, there is a part of them in the mind that kind of likes it and learns a thing or two, but they don't put it into reflective perspective. They don't ever think that these comments or anything is about them. They only pick it up and see other people through that. Like, for example, if they watch a reel about someone saying that, oh, frustrated people are angry, then they see that, I can see you must be so frustrated because of how angry you are. Or they see that women who have been treated as invisible as children, they become like too needy, and or whatever is the formula there. And then they see that everywhere without actually understanding and seeing the person, without actually seeing themselves in it, without ever digesting fully through these things. All they have is these big words to throw at someone else, and it leaves a trail of destruction usually behind these people. And everyone will have their own timeline. I believe these people will at some point have to open their eyes as well, and actually open themselves up to divinity, open themselves up to vulnerability, to their actual emotions, and actually taking accountability as well for kind of who they are and how they conduct themselves as humans. But yeah, women, be careful out there. Take care of each other. I've even noticed that that was very, very long time ago when the internet first came and started to become more popular. It was my ex-partner and his little sister was, I think it was, I don't know if it wasn't Instagram yet. It was one of the other social media platforms that was more in the beginning times. And this one guy kept love bombing this little sister, of my ex-partner's little sister. And I watched this, I kept an eye on it. And eventually when there was one moment when me and that little girl had a moment together, or there was a bit more privacy, I said to her, like, look, I don't think this guy is your friend. And she fully didn't understand that. Like, what do you mean? He's always so nice and he's saying these lovely, lovely things to me. I'm like, yep, major red flag. It's online. You don't actually know this person. And you got to be very careful if he private message you and what he requests and what he says. And because some people can be full delusion as well. They can fully think that they've now created a relationship with you and you owe them something. Like, we want to believe the best in people and we want to see the best in people, but we also need to have very sober, clear eyes. And I think that's the danger. We sometimes believe that spiritual communities, that these people are always as pure and as, well-intended as they want to show. But no, they are people like any other person. And in these communities also, these gremlins lurk around that we need to be careful of. And after when I mentioned to this little girl, like, look, you better stay away from this guy and don't message him back or do anything. And she took a little moment to kind of digest it, and she was like, oh my God, thank you, I didn't even think of it that. And yeah, it's so important, so important to communicate with other women, to keep an eye on each other, and to be open and honest, and to take care of your own emotional wants and needs. And that's why knowing your own desires is important, and your own emotional state is desired, because then you can, and your own emotional state, like, you need to know these things about you, not to be ashamed of them or not to try to force them away or make them disappear. You are deserving validation, you're deserving attention, you're deserving compliments and kind words, and someone seeing you, someone pleasuring you, someone offering you joy. You deserve all of these things, but you deserve them with pure intentions. You don't deserve them as someone actually satisfying themselves with it and they're not actually caring about you. That's the important difference. That's why you want to trust the person. That's why you want to know the person a little bit more. And that's why you want to become more and more closer to being your own source of validation in life, because that offers a major layer of protection in the world out there. So that's me for now. I wanted to share all of this for you. Like I said, take care of yourself, take care of each other, women. Let's stick together in these topics, in these conversations. Share this podcast episode with someone who needs this, maybe like a wake-up call reminder, needs to understand this, who are maybe is only exploring this world and is in a bit of a more vulnerable state. There's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. You don't need to make yourself like tough and hard and hide away from the world or anything like this. You deserve guidance, you deserve all of the beautiful things, but with the pure good intentions, with open hearts, and on terms that you're aware as well that nobody is taking advantage of you. It doesn't matter where you are in life and who you are and what you're doing. Sending you so much love, beautiful women. I'll be back with the next episode very, very soon. Let me know how this all landed for you. Reach out if you need anything. And so much love to you all. Bye.